Hello and welcome to EduMedia YouTube channel, your most preferred channel for credible, accurate, and educative information. In this video, I'm going to explain to you the structure of the new Ghana Teacher Licensure Examination curriculum, what it entails, and what you should be expecting from the examination as a candidate. Additionally, I'll give you some of the areas you should pay attention to whilst preparing for your examination. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification icon in order not to miss any of our latest updates. We love hearing from our viewers, so be sure to leave us a comment and we are sure to attend to it as soon as possible. This new structure is born out of the new NTC curriculum. It spells out the various modules under each category of study and the specific subjects to write based on your area of specialization. So based on the subject that you study and based on the area that you're going to teach in the school, that is where you're going to be examined on. So let's look at the various categories that are born out of this new NTC structure. The first area is for those who study Bachelor of Education in Early Childhood Education. Now, if you study this, the examination or the papers that you're going to write, first of all, you're going to be writing 3 papers. The first paper is going to be General Professional Knowledge. And under the General Professional Knowledge, you're going to be writing literacy, numeracy, and then essential professional skills. Remember that these were the traditional papers that we used to write individually, but this time around the new curriculum, these are all put under one heading. So one paper will be given to you with these questions. You'll have them 30, 30, and 40, totaling 100 questions. Then the next paper you're going to write is the pedagogy. So you're going to look at pedagogy, and under the pedagogy, you're going to look at the profession of early childhood education, the principles that inform early childhood education, as well as the personalities that brought about the early childhood education. So you look at personalities like the Jean Piaget, Vygotsky, John Dewey. You look at Erik Erikson. You look at Gardner. All these personalities are people who brought about the early childhood principles and then practices. Then you're going to look at those areas. Then you look at the current practices as it is, and then you go ahead to look at the policies and bodies that relate to early childhood. So the bodies such as the Ghana Education Service, the NACA, NTC, the NASIA, these are all bodies that regulate the early childhood education in Ghana. Then finally, you look at assessment in early childhood. How do you take assessment in early childhood? The concept of assessment in early childhood, and then the forms of assessment, as well as the performance-based or assessment, the tools that you use to take assessment as an early childhood educator. So these are the areas that you have to pay attention to when you are preparing for this exam. Then the third paper you're going to be writing is the multiple subject content. So in this area, you're going to be writing on the literacy, numeracy, creative art, and then all other subjects that are taught at early childhood category. So you have to be conversant with these areas. So you look at things like how to narrate my family, values and beliefs, the local community that the child lives in. All these areas are part of the numeracy, and you're going to be writing the same thing under literacy. So these are the areas that you have to pay attention to if you are preparing to write for, or you are preparing to sit for the early childhood education. So you look at the paper 1, that's the general professional knowledge. Paper 2, your pedagogy, and the paper 3 is the content. So you're writing on multiple subject content. Then the next area that you're going to look at is those who study Bachelor of Education in Primary Education. So if you study this, the same thing, you're also going to write 3 papers. One of the papers is going to be General Professional Knowledge. As usual, that's made up of literacy, numeracy, and then essential professional skills. And then you now move on to pedagogy. So pedagogy, for those who study primary education, you're going to be dealing with curriculum, teaching methods. You're going to look at inclusion in education. You're also going to be looking at things like classroom management, how to do lesson plan, and then also assessment. So this assessment at the primary level. So this is going to be a bit different from the early childhood education. So those who study primary education and those who are going to sit for this examination, your pedagogy area is going to be focused on these areas. And you have to make sure you stay conversant with this. You learn towards these areas. Then the next paper is also going to be multiple subject content, because you're also going to be teaching more than a subject in the classroom. So you're going to be examined on content like English language, mathematics, science, ICT. So based on those subjects that you're going to be handling, some will be handling 4 subjects, some will be taking 3, some will be taking 2. So since you are taking this subject and you'll be teaching them at the primary level, you have to write exam on these areas. Then the next area is those who are going to teach at the JHS level, so that's the JHS education. So if you study something like Bachelor of Education in English, Mathematics, or Science, or any of those areas that will allow you to teach at the JHS level, then you're also going to be writing general professional knowledge consisting of literacy, numeracy, and essential professional skill. Then you're going to be writing your pedagogy as well. Now, this pedagogy here, the areas of focus is going to be curriculum. So you're going to look at curriculum, scheme of work, syllabus, curriculum planning, and then lesson planning. You're also going to be looking at classroom management as well, motivation in classroom, and then assessment. So pay attention to this area very well for those who are going to write the JHS education. So you can have, you definitely be question on the methods of the teaching. Are you going to use the various methods to achieve your objective in the classroom? Then after that, you're going to be writing on single subject that you've specialized. So at JHS level, some handle just a subject. Therefore, you're going to be examined on only that subject that you've specialized in. So if you're an ICT teacher, you're going to be writing your examination under ICT. If you are an English teacher, you're going to be writing yours under English. If you study mathematics and you're going to be teaching that, then you're going to be writing your examination under mathematics. So this is where there's a difference. For those with JHS education, you're going to be writing single subjects that you've specialized in, and those are the primary level. And then the early childhood education, you're going to be writing multiple subjects that you are going to be teaching. Then the next area is the senior high school. For senior high school, also you're going to be writing your general professional knowledge, literacy, numeracy, and essential professional skills. Then after that, you're going to be looking at your pedagogy. The pedagogy here, you're going to be focusing on pedagogy that pertain to the senior high school. So pedagogies such as the methodologies that you're going to be using for teaching pedagogy, and then the anthropology. You're going to be looking at the methods like the project-based learning, problem-based learning. You're going to be looking at things like lecture-based instructions and how you're going to use them to achieve your objectives. You're going to be looking at scheme of work, syllabus, curriculum. You're also going to look at classroom management and how to effectively manage the classroom, motivation in classroom and how to enforce it in the classroom, and then assessment at this senior high school level. How do you do assessment and the importance of assessment at senior high level. Then after that, you're going to be doing your subject specialized. So the content area is going to be on the subject that you have specialized. If you're an accounting teacher, obviously you're going to be writing yours under accounting. If you're an English teacher, you're going to be writing yours under English language. And then management and living and all other areas that you have mastered or you have specialized in, that's where you're going to be writing your examination in. Then the last area that we have is the vocational or technical teachers. So for those who are instructors in these areas, you also be writing your general professional knowledge, you're writing your pedagogy, and your pedagogy is going to be centered on the technical area that you learned or that you're going to teach. So you will also be writing curriculum, teaching methods, and lesson planning. You're going to look at inclusion and classroom management, motivation, and assessment. Then you will look at your single subject specialized. If you are going to instruct or educate people under woodwork, then you're going to be examined under that area. If you are going to be teaching metal work, then you're going to be examined under that area. So these are the areas that you're going to be examined on. This is for those who are going to teach at the vocational or technical educations. So this is all that I have for you in this particular video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video to other prospective candidates, and let us all prepare for the examination. Thank you and see you in our next video.